everyone, it's Kels from Kels Craft. Welcome. Hi. This is my Saturday Wip and Chat, where I just tell you about my week, all the things that have been happening in the Witherton household. Oh, in and out, as they say. You'll have to excuse me if I ooh and I are a little bit. I've had a little bit of an accident this morning, which I'll tell you about after, so in a little bit of pain. So I apologise, this has probably gone up a bit later than normal. Well, no, I suppose it's not far off, but it might take me a while to do the rest to it. But anyway, what's been happening? Oh, I tell you what I've been doing this week, and I am really into it. Sorry, that's me scraping on the thing. It's this. If you've never done black work, you've got to have a go at it. This is purple peppermint. No, peppermint purple. I knew I'd get it back to front. This is a free heart they've got on their web page, which is .co.uk. I think they've got Instagram and Facebook, because I've been watching everybody do the sales, as you know, of the black work. I've been watching Pippa Brown, Rachel, somebody else doing it as well. Can't remember who the other one is. Anyway, really liked what they were doing, but I've never, as you know, I'm only new to cross stitching, and I've never done black work, so I thought, well, I'll print a smallish one, have a go at that. If I like it, then we might go for something a bit bigger. So I was talking to my friend Trees Addy on here, and she said she would like to have a go. So we both said, right, we'll do it together, and that's what we've been doing this week. I've been, what we've done is we both did the border, and then I chose one, so I did that. Then I'd send her a picture of that and tag her, and then say she did, I can't remember which one, was it that one? So then I'd have to do that one, and then I'd choose another one, say that one, then she'd choose one, and then I'd choose one, and that's what we've been doing all week. So every evening I send it, and then every morning I wake up and she's sent one of what she's done. Because of the time difference, it works out quite well. So I've really thoroughly enjoyed doing that. Had to do frogging, of course. I had to do frogging, you know me and frog are like that. Best mateys we are. We are best mateys. But I didn't mind, and I did have because I'm using the French one I got from France, which is a variegated floss, doesn't like frogging. If you frog with that stuff, it tends to break. Yeah, so that was a little bit frustrating. So I was trying to concentrate and make sure that what I did correctly. So hopefully we should finish it today, because there's only 2 sections. So she's done that one last night, so I'm going to do that one, and then of course we can both do that one today, and then we'll show each other our finished progress, and I'll show you the finished one on my floss tube on Friday. But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. So I've been doing that most of the week. If I go to do cross stitching, it's been that I picked up, because I thoroughly enjoyed it, because I haven't had a lot of time for a lot of crafting this week. So, but when I did, that's the one that I did, and I did like it. And the other thing that I've done this week, crafty wise, is I've taken up knitting. Yeah, again, down to Rachel Ray, Pippa Brown, Hiker for Stone Cold Coffee Crafts, and Jessie from Mislaid Pages. They keep showing all this bloody wool, all this lovely wool. And then I've learned what colourways is, because Jessie was showing all these different colourways of wool, and I didn't know what it was. So when I commented, she very kindly then after told me what it was. So I thought, right, I'm going to have a go. I did years ago, did a scarf with the kids because they wanted to try knitting. So we all got together, had a go at doing scarves. So I can do garter stitch. I didn't know that's what it was called. just knitting, that's all I thought it was. So I bought myself some circular needles, you know, the ones with their on I haven't got it down to this, it's up by my bed, but it's like the needles are got on attached to a wire. So I got 6mm. I went to our wool shop, which opened this week. It's only a little tiny place. And I said, have you got any? She said, yeah, there's some there. She said, but it's only a 60cm length, which is from tip to tip. I said, oh, that's all right. I said, I want it for practicing. I said, I want to have a go. Because I really, really want to make this shawl, which I told you about in my floss tube. So I've downloaded a few patterns as well. So I've got these 60cm length and 6mm needles, which I think is American 10, is it? And I've been having a go. So I learned to do the long tail cast on. It took me about quite a few attempts. I just cast on, then undid it, cast on, undid it, cast on, undid it, until I started to get the hang of it. So I quite enjoyed just doing that, believe it or not. I thought it was really good how it was done. But on that, you've got to make sure you've got a long enough tail for the amount of stitches you would need. So I put 50 stitches. My tail was long enough to do about 50. I did work it out right, because I thought, oh, 50 stitches would be a nice number. So I just got the 50 in. So I've been stitching now in the evening when I'm in bed, a couple of rows, just a normal garter stitch. And then last night I gained a stitch. So then I got rid of the stitch. So that was quite funny, because I thought, I'm not unpicking it all and try and work out where it was, because I'd be in a right mess. And I thought, it's only going to be a little scarf, 50 stitches wide, which is about, I don't know that, where's my other hand, about that wide. So yeah, so I thought, if I'm going to master that, well, not master it, because I don't master anything, I'm going to have a go at doing the shawl. So, I mean, if it goes tits up, it goes tits up, and I can do something else, but it's only for me, and I just want to use the wool that I got of my mum's, that I found that she's not going to be able to use. So I thought, if I made a nice shawl out of it, every time I looked at it, it reminded me of my mum, and I just thought it was something nice. I know it might sound daft like, but so I want to do something out of it, and I thought, I've always wanted a shawl, so I thought, why not bite the bullet, get some things, bits and pieces in, and do that. So I've ordered some more needles off Amazon, which I think is a set of 4 or 5 of these circular needles, but they're 40 inches, so I don't know how many centimetres that is. I didn't work the centimetres out, because the pattern that I want to do is quite simple, and it goes step by step of how to do it. I said you had to have 40 inches circular needles, and you needed some needle markers, is that what they're called? But they come today, the needle markers, right? I haven't opened. Crochet, locking, needle mark. Ah, that's why, for crocheting as well. And crocheting or knitting, but there's loads in there, look. And I thought, if I ever take crocheting up, I've got plenty, haven't I? So I don't know how to use them yet. I haven't figured that bit out yet. But yeah, and I like the colours of that. So I've got that. So that's my plan, once I've done my scarf, is to have a go at doing knitting a shawl. So that could be a bit of a, and I have been, why is it when we take up these new things, we start looking at everything? Oh my gosh. Stone Cold Coffee Hiker yesterday put up a link for a lady in Britain that dyes wool. Can't remember what her name is. I've got it liked on my Etsy. Oh, don't know what I'd do with half of this wool, but it is, oh, she has got some gorgeous colours. Oh my god, So yeah, I could be having a problem, girls. I might need a little bit of help. Yeah, I could definitely need a little bit of help of not buying wool when I can't stitch. Knit, I mean. Oh God, I'd have bags of wool and nothing to do with it otherwise. Oh, you got to laugh, haven't you? So I was knitting away last night, this scarf, and then looking at all this wool on Etsy and putting little hearts, my favourite, so tagging them so I'd remember where they were and who they were and what colours appealed. And I thought, oh my God. So in Etsy I've got that many thinking cross stitching stuff, and now I've got wool stuff and knitting stuff, because I've seen some markers, but they're like charm markers, the charms, and I did like them, so I put a heart by a load of those. So I thought, oh, so I did resist the temptation to press the buy button, because I thought you can't buy it until you know that you're going to like it. So you just put them all in your favourites, the store and the products that you like, and then we'll see. So I had to be tough on myself. How long that will last is beyond me. So I have printed out a few patterns for cross stitch and knitting that I like, because I thought, especially when there's some of the ones are free, there's a couple I've bought, but when they're free, get them while you see them, and it doesn't matter then when you do them. But I didn't have any of these, what are they called? I just bought them now from Bargain Buys. Where are they? There. These things, you know, with you put in files, what they're called, A4 punched pockets. So I thought, because I'm being used in the laminating pockets, because that's all I had, but they're not secure because they just fall out of that, but it's all right for now because I'm just putting them all in an envelope. So that's not too bad. So I thought I'd better get some of those. I mean, the kids have got them for their schoolwork, but I thought I'd better not nick theirs. And I had to go into Bargain Buys to get Millie a new iPhone cable, because she came to me last night. She said, Mum, is this safe to use? Oh my God, I took one look at it. I went, oh my God, no, Millie, because she tends to charge it when she's in bed at night. She does switch it off, and I always go in and check that she's got it off. Because I have been a cruel mum and showed her the pictures of what happens if you leave a phone plugged in at night. And it was frayed all in, the bit that goes into the phone was frayed, and the bit that goes into the metal bit that goes into the plug was all frayed. So I said, you can put that straight in the bin. She said, oh, I've got nothing to charge my phone. I said, I'll order you the one I got from Amazon from Jessie, Indestructible, I think it's called. And apparently it's not supposed to do any of that, no matter what way you bend it or whatever. It won't fray or pull out or whatever. And to be fair, it was $8.99, which wasn't too bad. And Jessie's had it and it's like new still. So I've ordered Millie one of those, but it won't come till Monday. So I went to Bargain Buys and just bought her a cheapy one. I think it was $1.79 or something. I mean, they don't last long, but I said if it just lasts you a few days until this new cable comes, because I try and drum into them, if any of their cables have got any wires showing or fraying of any sort, you don't use it. But she said she didn't notice till yesterday that it was that bad. So I went and got that this morning from Bargain Buys, and I saw them Polly Pocket thingy bobby what pockety doodah things, so I thought, right, I'll pick them up. So I picked them up, and then I saw some honey, and Jessie loves honey on toast, and Grant does. So I bought a big bottle of that for them. And what else did I get? I've got something else as well. Grant said, I thought you were only going for the cable. I said I was. Oh, some whitener sheets from the washing machine. So I got them as well. But it's so cheap in there. So I did that, come home, Millie's happy now because she was panicking because she's on these, is it streaks they call it on Snapchat, where you send a picture every day to your friend and they send one back. And I think 2 of her friends, she's on something like 500 and something odd days. So she was panicking that, you know, she'd lose that. Means nothing to me. So she's happy as Larry now. So she's up there playing Fortnite. And also she got the, oh, what's he called? Not American Man. Oh, what's he called with the shield? Oh, I can't think what his name is. But she got a skin of him apparently. And well, she got enough for half of it, half the money. So she's done a deal with me, a list of chores that she will do to earn more money. So she could get this skin. Can't think who he's. Captain America, that's it. I knew it'd come to me. So she could get this skin and shield thing of Captain America. So I said, fine. So that's what we did, made a deal. So one of her jobs was this morning, because I can't carry things up and down the stairs, and I wanted to take the statue. I've got an African statue with all figures all intertwined or whatever at the top of my stairs on a bookcase and some bits and pieces. So I said if she stripped it off and brought it all downstairs so I can clean it from top to bottom, get all, you know, get a toothbrush in there and clean it all, and then sort out what was being dumped on there, because it does tend to be a dumping ground. I said that would knock some money off her bit that she owes me. She was dead chuffed. She said, oh, I don't have to clean them. I said, no, just bring them down for me and then take it back up when I've cleaned it all, because it's easier for me to clean it on the kitchen table. So she was happy with that, because that's what I did with Jessie a couple of weeks ago. She wanted a skin or something, no, a dance or something. So she wrote a list of chores that she could do extra to earn some extra money. So I thought that's quite good, because they're learning, they're at the ages now, they're learning that money doesn't grow on trees. You know what I mean? You can't just want something and the money's there, you've got to earn it. And they don't mind, you know, they know that money's can be tight at times, but if I've got it, they can have it. But they said no, they want to earn it. So I said that's fine. So I thought it's a good thing to instill in them. And now if they want something, they say, oh, Mum, can we do some extra jobs like wash the car, or, you know, stuff like that, stuff out of the ordinary, not like hoovering or just making their bed. If they change the beds, that's their best. They say changing the beds, because every bed they change, the sheets and the duvets and pillowcases and all that, they get £1. So they think that's brilliant. And also it saves me having to do it then when they want to earn it. But yeah, bless them, they are good kids. Josh went up and cut his granddad's grass this week again for him, talking of chores. He goes up now and helps him cut, because granddad's got quite a big garden. So he phoned me, he said, Josh there, not yesterday, day before. And I said, no, he's out with his mates. It was about 2 o'clock. He said, I wanted to see if he'd come up and do the grass, because the weather's going to change again. So I said, I'll phone him. Next thing, Josh came home and said, oh, I'm going up granddad's now. He said, cut the grass. So I give him a tenner. I said, go and put some fuel in the car, because I don't think there's enough there to get you to granddad's and back. So he was up there a couple of hours helping him. And it's company for Dad as well then, which is good. Well, talking to Josh, he went for a job interview on Wednesday. Although he's still going to uni, but he thought he'd try and find a job. And he wants going into caring, believe it or not. I've always said to him he would make a good carer, because he was so good with my mum when we had to put her in the hospital. He just had such a way with him. I said, oh, that'd be a good job for you, you know, if you weren't going to uni like. So he found out there's some jobs going, but it's in Knighton, which is about 14 miles away. So he asked us if he could have the car. I said, yeah, if it's for work, that's not a problem. She said, I don't know what days and whatever. I said, well, I can work around whatever you're working. So I said, have you told him that you're going to uni yet? He said, I told him I'm going to uni. Well, he went, first of all, she was going to interview him on the phone. Then she said, no, I'd like to see you. Because she said, I'm impressed with what I've heard on the phone so far. Because she'd had a few chats with him. So he went and had the formal interview, got the job. So he's waiting to hear now to go off for some training. But she's also said that if he likes it and they like him, that when he comes home for the holidays, and she's got a few shifts for him, he can have them, which I thought was excellent. So I'm just got to see whether he likes it or not. I hope he does, because he's got the nature to do it. You know, like when he was telling my mum in the car when we was taking her to the hospital that, you know, and she didn't really want to go, and so he told her that she was going to a 5-star, just see it, Nanny, as you go into a 5-star hotel, you have all your meals cooked, your washing done, your bed's made, baths run for you. He said, don't look at it as a hospital. He said, look at it as like this. And by the time we got to the hospital, she was that calm. She knew she was going into hospital, don't get me wrong, you know, but she was thinking of it in a different light, in a different way, seeing it as a positive rather than a negative. And he said, they'll look after you so well, man. He said, and they'll help you get better. He said, isn't that better thing? And like he got her eating out of his hand. Mind you, he is her favourite, her firstborn. Them two had a special bond when he was younger. I mean, she loves the girls to bits, don't get me wrong. She loves them all equal, but there's just something a little bit different, the bond that she's got with Josh. I think because he had so many difficulties as well, and she was there through them all. I think he remembers it. Yeah, and the girls went back to school this week. Well, I can't say they didn't or did. Millie went back for Monday. Jessie went back for just Friday. They're only doing 1 day a week. Excuse me, I'm going to have a sip of my tea. Just to catch them up with what they've been doing and what they'll need them to do. Just see how they're doing, really. So, and they go 1 day next week, 1 day the week after. Now, both go this week, both go 1 day next week. The 3rd week, just Jess is in for 1 day. Millie's not in that week. And then the 4th week, Millie's in for 1 day, getting her prepped, ready for year 11. But the school, fair play to them, they sent us pictures of how they've rearranged everything into a one-way system, what sanitary stuff they've got up to, sanitation stuff for their hands and washing areas, drinking, how they'd set the canteen area up so they can't sit by each other, what the classrooms were now, how they were, so they wouldn't be sat next to them, and how they were splitting them up. And so Molly went on Monday, and she said there was only 4 in her class. There was 10 from her form that went in. She said there was 4 in hers because of the subjects they were doing. She said we stayed in the classroom. She said, and you had to have your desks are 2 meters apart. She said, and then we had 2 different teachers all day, 2 science teachers. And she said, we didn't move from the classroom, they came to us. And she said, and then we were all different times for dinner, each group. She said, and breaks. She said, when we went to the canteen, she said, oh my God, Mum, you look like a prison in there, the way they'd set it up. She said, so we asked them if we could set it up like a hexagon, the tables, so that you would be sort of opposite but over 2 meters apart and not look like you were in rows of prison. They'd done it like she said it just looked like, you know, you see in a prison, they've got like tables in rows, and then you've got 1, 1, 1, 1. She said you couldn't even look at each other or talk to each other. So they agreed to swap all that around. So they did that. So she said it was really good. She really enjoyed it. Jess was dreading going in on Friday. So I dropped her off and she walked down with a friend with a 2 meter thing. It's quite comical, it is. Whether they kept that out when I was out of sight, I have no idea. Yeah, and she said it was all right. She said a bit boring, but they've got to take in, they've got to have Chromebooks or laptops or some form of device now, because a lot of it's going to be done from home. So Jessie already had one, so I bought Millie, well, I'm paying for it monthly from AO, online, appliances online, and it's a really good deal. So and I'm going to be using it as well. That's the condition. But they needed cases because I thought I don't want to send them in with these things with no cases on them. So I bought them each a nice padded case. Oh, they're beautiful, they are. Can't show you because they both got them upstairs. So I said they can take them now. And I said they'll be protected. And it's got like reinforced corners on this bag thing that it goes in. Reinforced handle. Reinforced on the edging. So I think they were about £17 each or something. Grant said £17. I said that's not bad for a decent case. And I said if it's going to keep them safe, I said because we've only just had Jessie's back from the people that meant it. And yesterday she said, because she was supposed to take her Jessie, she said I can't get it to switch on, Mum. I said, oh God, is it broken already? She said, I said, have you charged it? Well, yeah, I think so. She said, well, put this on charge now. I said, well, you'll have to use your phone today and tell him, you know, what's happened. But I don't think she charged it. I think she might have put it on charge but not switched the charger on. Because once I went up and the blue light went to white, it came on. So hopefully that was all that was wrong with it. Because I said we've only had it back just over a week. Yeah, so I bought them 2 cases. So they're all sorted now for school. Millie said it makes it so much easier because they can log into, because they've got to do so much at home and there's so much in school. And then if they got it all on this Chromebook, they don't have to swap back and forth devices all the time. So I thought I got the wrong letter then. So they're happy. So Jessie goes in, no, Millie goes in Tuesday, Jessie's Thursday, or the other way around next week. But yeah, they enjoyed it. They don't wear school uniform or anything, and the teachers meet them at the gate and they have to go to a certain class or a certain place before the bell goes, and then they're taken then to wherever. But I don't know whether that applies next week or whether they just go straight to their classrooms. I forgot to ask. Yeah, when Josh was at an interview, I took me and Jessie went up to Dad's and we sorted through paperwork that Mum had kept. She was one for bookkeeping. Everything was written down, but it went back to 2009. I think there was paperwork and like bank statements, receipts, invoices, but some of it was all mixed up with recent stuff. And Dad was like, oh, he was in her craft room and he was so overwhelmed with it. I said, oh, we'll come up and do it. So me and Jess went through it and sorted it out into piles. We had 3 bags of burning stuff and then put the stuff that's the last 2018, 2019, 2020. Yeah, 3 years sort of worth of stuff. I said keep there just in case. But I mean there was nothing, hardly anything then to keep. And then we sorted out some of her craft drawers that she's not touched for years. That's how I got the wool. So I sorted it in what could go to the schools, what the schools would like. There was big pieces of felt and materials and stuff. And like she's got 3 or 4 glue guns. I said, you know, donate them to the school, the primary school. It's only a little school. I said, so they'd be more than happy. And then she had like, you know, the cardboard tube that's in foil and cling film or shrink wrap or whatever you want to call it. She'd got like about 50 of them in there, so I got rid of all them. And that cardboard boxes with nothing in, that she was obviously one time going to make something out of them. So we broke all them down. So I said to Dad, I said that tidied it up a little bit for him. And then he started to get upset then because he thought we were getting rid of her stuff. And I said, we're not getting rid of Mum's stuff. We're just getting rid of the stuff that she hasn't used for donkey's years, sort of thing. So, you know, her paints and her drawing pads and her easels and stuff like that, Dad, I said, it's still there. You know, and if she decides she wants some of them down there, I mean, realistically, she's never ever going to be drawing again and painting like she was. There's just, she can hardly write her name. But I know where he's coming from. He thinks he's getting rid of her stuff, and whether he thinks is, I don't know. What's the word, like, as if she wasn't there, sort of erasing it all. And I said, it's not, it's just sorting out what you'd normally sort out if she was well. And we decided to have a good sort out. I said it would be the things that she'd be sorting and getting rid of and say, oh, I don't need that anymore and I don't need that. But yeah, so we had 3 bags of rubbish and then 3 bags for burning. So then we stayed for a bit of dinner. We took the dog with us as well. We stayed till the afternoon and then we tootled off home. So he had a bit of company for quite a few hours. But when I got back, no, what was I going to say? No, that was it. I was telling you about the care home, wasn't I, that I found to see if they'd take Mum in. Heard nothing from social services, so I have sent them an email to say, well, I sent it Monday to say that I knew they were, the care home was taking people in. I know that her assessment, they were quite happy with the assessment that's been done. They were willing to go and do theirs. They were just waiting on you in social services to do your part. But have I heard anything? Nope. So guess what I'll be doing Monday morning? Back on again. I think if I don't push them, I don't want it to, you know, load other people get in there and then there's no room for her. But as they say, social services take their time. They're law into themselves. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think that's about all. I had my chat with my school friends last night. That was nice. Linda had set a challenge up that we had to wear something on our head when we answered the call. You really know how silly I am. I can't do like a hat or a tiara or a fascinator or something like that. Not me. I had a bath sponge on my head with pom-poms on the top. Looked a bit like a duck. Strapped around then under my chin. The green ribbon to match my top. And then I had 2 knitting needles, one each side, stuck in the side of it. Oh God, it was funny. But it did crack him up. And I said to him, it was I said a cross between, I got the idea because I did the sponge mask for Steoch challenge. So I said to him, see, it can be a hat 1 minute. I said, and the next minute, I said, it can come down as a face mask. And I said, and if anybody comes too close, I said, you grab hold of the knit needles out and I send you boof, 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 boof with them. I said, and they'll soon back off. Yeah, a little bit crazy. But it was funny. We did laugh. Gotta have a giggle, ain't you? I'm forever doing stupid things like that. I don't do the norm of hats and things. I had to do, and the girl said, we knew you wouldn't do something sensible. I said, no, that's not my middle name. I said, I don't do sensible. Yeah, so that was it really for that. And then, I was going to tell you why I'm hurting from head to foot. Well, I'm hurting on the right side, apart from the normal hurt and batteredness. Ow! I decided this morning that I was going to spring clean my bathroom from the ceiling to the floor. You know, everything was going to get a clean. And it did go very, very well, to be truthful. Everything was hunky-dory. And then I decided to borrow Jessie's little three-leg stool to stand on to get some cobwebs that are at the top of the light switch fastening on the ceiling, I could see. So I couldn't quite reach it, so I decided to go on, lift my one foot and sort of go on tippy toe. Of course, all the weight went down on one leg. So the stool went one way, I went the other way. I landed, I've got a mirror that is made with driftwood that Joshua did when I home tutored him. My arm went down on that, so all these pieces of wood, hard wood, went in my arm and in my armpit. Then I fell down onto the corner of the radiator and then down onto the floor and on the, like the stool. So I've cut under my arm, not too bad, just a grazing cut, and bruised from my elbow and the inside of my arm, then down across your boob, armpit, and down onto my ribs. So it's a little bit sore. What a plonker, isn't it? It only could happen to me. It doesn't happen to anybody else. I can't believe that I did it. Nobody heard me either. So I picked myself up, carried on doing what I was doing. Carried on cleaning the bathroom. I thought, oh, you know, I'm all right. It's not too bad. And then when I stopped, oh my God, the pain hit me. It was like, oh my giddy aunt, what have you done? So I've had to took paracetamol to begin with. That did absolutely nothing. So I waited half an hour, nothing. So I've taken 2 codeine now. And it still hurts like buggery, but it's taken the edge off. So I said, once I've done this, I'm going to get a cup of coffee and go and sit in the front room and watch a film, I think, for a little while. But like Grant said, the bruising's going to be coming out now in the next few hours. He said, so it's going to get better, get worse before it gets better. I said, oh, thanks. He said, what are you like? He said, why were you climbing? Why didn't you shout me? I said, well, you were busy outside. And I said, I thought I'm quite capable normally. He said, yeah, but on the stool, why didn't you get one of the chairs that are in the room? Didn't think. Just thought it'd be quick and easy. I'd stand up, give it a quick flick to get the cobweb off, and I'd be down and be sorted. Well, I was down, yeah, down on the floor. So don't do that, folks. Do not use a 3-legged stool to stand on and then go on tippy toes on it. Don't work. It don't work. So I think that's it with all my news for the week. Not done a lot else. So I will love you and leave you and say thank you for coming and listening to my Whip and Chat. You know I love having you in week in, week out. It makes my week hearing all about what you've been up to when you put it down below. So carry on that if you wouldn't mind. Tell me what you're up to, what you're doing, or what you have been doing in the comments below, or send me a private email. I don't mind. But all my details are down below anyway. But I will say, if you haven't subscribed and you'd like to, I'd love to have you on board. And there's a little bell there. If you haven't pressed it before, press the little bell by the subscribe, and that will tell you every time I go live, which is on a Sunday, and when I put a video up. And I do put at least 2 videos up a week. At least 2, usually 3. Can be, sometimes it can be 4 if I've got other things to show you. But so yeah, that notification button will let you know then when they're up. So I will say to you, lovely lot, look after yourselves, take care, and most importantly, stay safe. Love you all. Bye for now.